from the audience, which is from Sharif. Sharif, hello.
Evening, Senator Sanders.
Good evening.
As a Palestinian American, I and many like myself would like to know what your plan is to bring a fair resolution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Well, you know, Sharif, this has been an issue that we struggled with for many, many decades. But this is what I will tell you. And I tell you this as a Jewish American, somebody who was a kid, lived on a kibbutz in Israel. The United States cannot continue to maintain a one-sided policy toward the Middle East. What we need, Israel needs absolutely to be guaranteed the right to live in peace and security. No question about that, and I will defend that right. But the Palestinian people need also to understand that the United States believes they have a right to live in dignity and with justice. And what I am very concerned about, is that over many years, especially under Netanyahu, we have seen a right-wing drift in Israel. I have called Netanyahu a racist. I believe that is true. On the other hand, when you look at Gaza, you're looking at a terrible, terrible situation where youth unemployment is, I believe, somewhere around 60 or 70%. People are unable to leave, serious health conditions. That is unsustainable. So what the United States has got to do, and I'm not here to tell you it is easy, but to treat both sides with respect. We are putting a lot of money into Israel, and to say, you know what, you just can't use that money on weapons. We want you to sit down with the Palestinians. I know it's hard. Let's work out a two-state solution. Let's end the encroachment of the settlements on Palestinian land. Let's see what we can do. But we cannot consistently and continue to have just a pro-Israel policy.
All right, next question. Next question is on student debt. It's from Richard. Richard, there you go.
Hi, Senator Sanders.
Hey, Richard.
As a first-year college student here at the University of Michigan Dearborn, I understand attending university can be expensive. But at the same time, I understand that I'm making an investment in my future. What would you say to families who have worked hard to save up money so that their children can go to college with minimal debt, or to graduates that have worked hard after graduating to pay off their student loans? Would you consider these people in your plan to cancel all student loan debt for public universities?
Well, I certainly would consider those people and all middle-class and working families in my plans as we bring change to America. But in terms of college, let me rephrase your question and tell me where you disagree with me. 100+ years ago, in a fairly radical action, working-class people said, you know what? We want our kids not to be working in factories or on farms or in fields. We want them to have an education. Yeah. Okay? And what they said, which 100+ years ago is a pretty radical idea, they said, you know what? Everybody should have a right to go to public schools roughly from first grade through 12th grade. And that was transformative in America. I went to a public school. Most of my kids in my public school, we didn't have any money. We had a pretty damn good education, okay? The world has changed from where it was 30 years ago or 50 years ago. Technology, the global economy has changed it. I don't think it's a radical idea to say that when we talk about public education, it shouldn't just be from first grade to 12th grade. It should be through college or trade school as well. That's why I believe we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free. And it's why I also believe that through a modest tax on Wall Street speculation, we should cancel all student debt in this country. All right? So I think the question that those families that you mentioned should be asking is, how could it be right that Trump and his friends gave 2 years ago $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1% and large corporations? How could that be right? How could it be right that the fossil fuel industry, which is today, with their product, if you like, destroying our planet, gets tens of billions of dollars a year in subsidies, and tax breaks. How could it be right that the taxpayers of this country bailed out the crooks on Wall Street? So I have no apology for saying, and by the way, it is happening in America. State after state, community after community understands the truth of what I'm saying. They are making public colleges and universities tuition-free, and that is exactly what has got to happen.
All right, Senator. We have a short time here. We'll do a little lightning round. Short questions, short answers.
Oh, I hate lightning
rounds. I know. Well, just a quick one. Just a quick one. Here we go.
So there's some speculation about who Joe Biden would pick if he were to get the nomination. And some of the people that are said to be on that list, maybe Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar. Who would be on your list?
You looking for a job?
Sure.
This has to be very bipartisan. I offer you the job. It's a little.
You don't know my politics, though.
It's a little bit premature. I haven't won the nomination yet. But I think my gut feeling is that it must be a woman. I would look to women first. But they would be women, by the way, who hold my political views.
So one of those is Elizabeth Warren. You said it would be nice to have Elizabeth Warren's support. But have you asked for it?
Have I asked for it? Elizabeth and I talk. We have talked for 20 years. We talk on a regular basis.
So
How's that for a political answer?
Okay.
Did you ask her for her support?
We talk on a regular basis. All right.
Right,
What's your next question?
You're hoping it's really lightning. Okay.
So maybe it's the same answer to this question. This question is, who is your closest friend in Washington?
My wife.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
I have, developed over the years a lot of good friends in the House, good friends in the Senate. And by the way, not all of them are Democrats. And one of the things that I have seen is there are a lot of decent people who are Republicans. We disagree. That does not mean to say that they're not good people, not honest people.
If you don't get the nomination, will you feel any responsibility for taking a job away from Larry David?
I saw David. He was moaning and groaning, and I say, hey, look, I'm going to give you a good job for the next 4 years. You're going to make a fortune. What are you complaining about?
Senator Sanders, we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Sanders.